Well. Welcome, folks, to Dominant Mets Nation. And what a win by the New York Mets. The unkillable New York Mets. As the LA Dodgers were literally planning to play the New York Yankees, not quite yet. Not so fast, LA. We are going to game six. Game six, New York Mets go to LA and playing up, we're going to play against the bullpen of the LA Dodgers because we know game six is going to be Sean Manaea versus the bullpen. So in my estimation, we stand a pretty good shot. So, that's what I want. I wanted so badly to get to game six. And thank you, Mr. Pete Alonso. That first inning, we are such a team where if you set the tone in the right way, good things will happen. Just like Kodai Senga having that stinker in the first game set a bad tone, Pete Alonso taking a pitch literally right off the dirt and hitting it 430-something feet instead of field is something that set the tone for that lineup in a tremendous way. And what do you know? Game 5 of the playoffs at Citi Field, the New York Mets were as locked in as ever. I've never seen us more locked in than we were at the plate yesterday. We refused to lose. Obviously, probably by now, all of us has heard the amazing historic stat that the lineup didn't strike out once. Not one strikeout. Not one strikeout. This lineup literally that has been striking out at a record pace. Pete Alonso, yeah, you give him all the credit in the world, but he struck out a lot up and down the line. Yamamoto the other day, just a few short innings, I think 4 innings, struck out 8 guys. So today or yesterday, we were ultra locked in, ultra freaking locked in 34 ABs, not one strikeout. Not one strikeout. And you do this in a game where it counts the most, where your back is up against the wall. Where the pressure is at its most, we play our best. We are the most locked in. And that's why it's just so fascinating. It's not like, it's a regular season game and there's no pressure. No, this is when it's the most pressure and you have a historic performance. I think the last time I was reading was 2002, where the Angels were in the postseason. That was the last time a postseason team didn't strike out. And I believe it has only happened 3 times in the expansion era. So what we saw yesterday was not common. Our New York Mets, the special miracle New York Mets, continue to be special, continue to defy all odds. Yesterday, we put up 12 runs, 14 hits. The funny thing is, the day before that, we had 10 hits. Only 2 runs, but we had 10 hits. So we are hitting the ball. Finally, we're hitting the ball with runners in scoring position. And, as we know, in the first 4 games, we scored 9 runs. 9 runs in 4 games, getting shut out twice. Yesterday, game 5, we scored 12 runs. 12 runs. So it's just been just such a disparity in these first 4 games. I am so happy that we are not going down without a fight. We are not going down without a fight, and this is what I love to see. I love to see Jack Flaherty essentially dominated the Mets in Game 1. Dominated. He was locating. His curveball was freaking nasty, but not yesterday. Not yesterday. Flaherty in 3 innings allowed 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 4 walks. So Flaherty was not locating, and when he wasn't making his pitches, the Mets had to do their job, and they basically smacked this guy around. And you give everybody credit. Pete Alonso, I give him the most credit because he had a day, folks. He had a day. I don't know the last time he scored 4 runs. I believe he got on base every single time. He had 2 hits, 3 RBIs, and 1 walk. So, Pete Alonso, hell of a day. hell of a day. It was his fourth home run in the postseason. And I was complaining that the middle of the lineup, the meat of the order, has to start producing runs. And yesterday, they stepped up in a big way. They really did. Starting with Alonso, but Winker too. Winker, phenomenal, had multiple hits. He had that big triple. He walked. Marte, 4 hits, 3 RBIs. I mean, the middle of the lineup that was essentially doing nothing, stepped up in the biggest way possible. And we know these Dodgers can score. So obviously getting off to that 3-0 lead. Yes, it was nice. Yes, it set the tone, but you have to continue to add on with this team, because the Dodgers, we know, could score runs. They scored 30 runs in the first 4 games. So do not sleep on them. And the Mets, and that's what I like most about the Mets. All day long, we were a gauntlet. The lineup was a gauntlet. Francisco Lindor, big at bats. Francisco Alvarez, like up and down the lineup, we have big at bat after big at bat. I'll give Andy Pages, the young player from the Dodgers. He had a phenomenal game. Multiple hits, 4 RBIs. Without him, the Dodgers didn't really have much going. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Peterson, 3.2 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs. Garrett, 1 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Reed Garrett hasn't looked great. Diaz came in, 2 innings, really shut the door. It was such an important game, and it really expands our possibilities right now. We have Manaea, our ace, essentially going for game 6. And, I expect big things. I really expect big things. We have a good matchup. The Dodgers are going to be employing their bullpen game. And, the Mets have to do the same thing. And, this is what I like about going to game 6. When you're going to game 6, obviously one team has won 3 games. One team has won 2 games. So both teams know that they can beat the other team. We've already won in LA. We've got the feeling of winning in LA. We got the feeling of winning when there's an elimination game. We did that multiple times. We are damn good when it's an elimination game. I mean, we are the most unkillable team out there. I mean, it is just so, phenomenal. And it's such an anomaly that, anytime this team gets into a situation where they could be done, they could be finished, they come back at you. It's like they want the world to think this team is done. Once everybody's like, they're done next season, the Mets show you that they're not. So they come back in a big way. Not come back. They come storming yesterday. They put up great offense. The pitching was good enough. And now they set themselves up where they have a day off. And then they go to work on Sunday night. Hopefully Manaea has a good, strong start. You don't really do too much in the bullpen. And then once you get to game 7, all bets are off. Obviously you were going to assume Severino would start that, but you're going to have everybody available. You're going to even have Peterson available. He's only gone he threw a lot of pitches. He threw 79 pitches, but in a game 7 matchup, you will see everybody's available. Kodai Senga, I don't know if you want to go back to that well, but any single person will be available. And the further this series goes, and right now, all the pressure is on LA. LA did not want this to go back home, folks. They did not want. As confident as they may appear to be on the exterior, they are the team with all the pressure in the world on them. There is no pressure on the Mets. No pressure whatsoever. They are not the team this year that invested over $1 billion in the offseason. And, I said that in my last video. And, I thank all the Dodgers fans. I had great commentary from most people. But there were, I didn't say this as in an offensive way, but many Dodgers fans, they don't like to hear that they invested over $1 billion. And I know the money's deferred over a long period of time. I'm not saying all the money is going to be paid out last summer or last year, but the fact of the matter is, in total players, it was invested over $1 billion last offseason. I mean, I thought those were facts. Those are facts. But Yamamoto, Teoscar Hernandez, Shohei Ohtani, I mean, those are facts. Your investment totaled over $1 billion. So, I mean, it is what it is. The Mets, on the other hand, our investment was, not even a tenth of that. Not even a tenth of that. And, the fact of the matter is, and what makes things so amazing is that the New York Mets are so damn ahead of schedule. Our goal was to make the playoffs, but we did not we did not gear up like we were going to win a World Series. The Dodgers went all in. They acquired Jack Flaherty at the trade deadline. We already spoke about them spending over $1 billion in the offseason. The Mets this year were supposed to be a development year, and they were supposed to be good enough to make the playoffs. But at the trade deadline, we didn't go all out for that pitcher. We didn't get a Tariq Skubal. We didn't get a Jack Flaherty. We didn't get a Blake Snell. We didn't get that because I don't think the goal, although the goal is to always win a World Series, in the minds right now, we were not going all in. We just were not. We were not in position right now. And I think we're surprised. Even a guy like David Stearns right now. I don't think David Stearns, he knew this team was good, but enough talent to get to the World Series and win a World Series. I think if he actually felt that, he would have pulled the trigger on another ace. That's just my opinion. So that's where you got to give a guy like Carlos Mendoza even more credit for taking a bunch that was a good enough playoff team, but a team that was good enough to eliminate the Phillies, the Brewers, and possibly the LA Dodgers. We've 100% exceeded those expectations, and that's why all the pressure is on the Dodgers. They've done everything, moved heaven and earth to win a World Series this year. Us, we're just casually mowing along, and if we win, great, whoop-de-doo. Our players tried their best, but, next year we have $180 million going off the books. Next year, we will set ourselves up in a much, much better position. I still expect to win this year, but it just shows you how phenomenal this team is, that without even kind of going that extra mile that like the Dodgers did, we still could potentially beat the Dodgers and get to the World Series. And if we get to the World Series, we're going to have all the momentum in the world because we will be so much more battle tested than a team like the Yankees, who have had the easiest road probably in the last 20 years to get to the World Series. I mean, the Yankees are up 3-1 against the Guardians. And, I don't want to take anything away from the Guardians, but they are the weakest team left. And the Yankees have played a very, very easy road. They didn't have to see their main rival. And, it's just really going to be I just can't wait for this World Series. I can't wait. Obviously, the Astros, they did not see. But, I'm still trying to wrap it around in my mind. Like, we are still in it. We're still in it. What is it, October 19th? October 19th, and the New York Mets are still alive. We are still alive. Oh my God! If we get to Game 7, I mean, it's anybody's game. It is anybody's game, and I already believe we are the best team in all of baseball in the pressure situation. I mean, when the pressure is at its most, no player strikes out. That just shows you how damn focused each and every batter was. And you do that off a guy like Flaherty that essentially dominated. So going forward, we're going to be playing a bullpen game on Sunday, and I would have to suppose that Walker Buehler would be going up against Luis Severino. And Walker Buehler, here's the big advantage. Like, Walker Buehler had a great start against us last time. Everything was going. His curveball was nasty. He was locating. But I think it will be such an advantage to see a pitcher like that twice in such a short period of time. So, the Mets, in my opinion, we are in a great position. Just have to continue to hit, and keep having those great at-bats. Don't expand the strike zone. And our pitchers, please do not walk everybody. Let the Dodgers earn it. I mean, don't walk 2 or 3 guys and then somebody gets a hit or a home run. I mean, let's try to limit the damage. Sean Manaea, I have a good confidence in him. But let me know what your comments are. Like, subscribe. We have a lot of fun here on Dominant Mets Nation. Be a part of it. Have a great day, and I will see you very, very soon.